Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 3rd of December. Starting off with the S&P as usual, and here we're just changing the color of the channel for greater visibility. Rising trend channel there from April. We had a mini negative channel there from September, broken that around the 68.20 level, and above that, we're looking for the top of the channel as high as 70.80 now by the end of next month. It's a punchy call, but it's punchy chart at the moment as well, and the upside valid, at least while we're above the 50-day line, 67.30. If there is a rug pull, then the floor of the channel towards 65.80 could be the destination. But with the RSI in the mid 50s and holding above that broken October resistance line, we are looking for higher prices, even though 7,000 maybe some time away, maybe a month or two, etc. The Nasdaq 100 is next, and here you'll see that it's basically a situation where we broke that its October resistance line there and the 50-day line, 25,000, above 25,000, looking for the top of the channel there, as high as 27,000, and looking for that by the end of next month or even sooner than that. Rug pull, any rug pull we're looking for would be no lower now than 24,000. RSI at 57, perfect place for a move to the upside, and you see that little RSI rebound there that we've had above neutral 50, which tends to be a leading indicator on the upside. Moving on to the stocks and a few repeats, which is normally good news, which means the charting has been working. Got Foxx first, and here we've got effectively a V-shaped bull flag bouncing off the 50-day line there at $4, and above that, and especially while above the $6.20 level, we can get there. Then we're looking for a fresh target, perhaps even as high as the adjusted line I'm drawing at the moment, as high as $9 by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay even on the right side of that right now rising 200-day moving average. You can see there's been an RSI 50 plus rebound as well, which hopefully will serve the cause well. We looked at the following stock just a few days ago, Falcon's Beyond, and here you can see that the shares hit the top of the channel, the target there around $26, and might overshot that by a fair bit, up to $29. Current situation is that we'd like to see this market stay on the right side of 19, which was resistance on the way up, ahead of a retest of that now $28 area, which is the top of that May rising trend channel. Another RSI 50 plus rebound. We had two ahead of the big move to the upside, which was partly the reason for suggesting that the shares could go higher. Globus is next, and here another stock heading for its resistance line target, in this case $101.86, and we're looking for that, especially while we're above, or at least on the right side of $1.50. I suppose you can see the old resistance 140, but at least while we're above 150, effectively the midpoint of yesterday's range, looking for up to 186 sometime later this month on Globus rather. Next up is iPower, and here more fraught target, chart rather, but we have a target there at the top of that falling trend channel, $17.70, and hoping for that by the end of this month. Recent resistance broken around $10.80, so we'd like to stay above that. The reason for the big call here on the upside, or a call here on the upside, is the way that we've got at lower lows for November, but a higher RSI trace, and we've also got a sort of saucer-shaped rebound as well, which tends to be a decent leading indicator, but looking for $17 plus while we're above the $11 area. Moving along to stock we haven't looked at before, Leslie's, and here looks like a situation. We've got a rising trend channel base. We've got upward support line there in the RSI window, so that is bullish divergence, especially with the lower lows that we had middle of last month. Broken recent resistance around the $3.30 area, and above that looking for at least the 50-day line there at 403. Best case would be up to $5.40 by the end of next month, but obviously then there's the battle of trying to break above the 50-day line, which we haven't been above properly since back in May, so a bit of work to do there on that one. On to Mongo, and here we've had a situation where we actually gapped up and just approached, or maybe even touched the initial target we were looking for there, around $4.20. Above 420, a fresh leg to the upside could be seen, and it could be a little bit higher than the line I've drawn, actually, maybe a little bit, maybe up towards, like that, up towards the $5.40 level. Ideally, we stay above recent resistance, broken resistance to $3.80 ahead of a fresh leg to the upside, although obviously it is quite a big ask given that we already gapped up higher back in August. But above 380, still looking for further progress on Mongo. Moving along to Max, which is otherwise known as Powell Max, and here you can see that potentially a broadening triangle base. We've broken recent resistance around the $2 level. Above that, looking for the 200-day moving average at $2.80. Best case would be up to $3.50 by the end of this month. If you're cautious, I suppose you'd wait for an end-of-day close above the 50-day moving average, $2.37. SMX has been quite a hero for us over the recent past, and here you can see security matters, and you can see that we managed to sort of consolidate well above the initial target here, which was around $26.50. In fact, we've held the top of the gap there, and while we're above the top of that gap there at 29, we'll call it $30, looking for a retest of the recent resistance around $66. Best case by the end of this month would be up to the old October resistance area, just through $100, but maybe that is a big ask by the end of this month. But maybe by the end of the next month, we could be on our way there. New name coming up here with TryHard, and here you can see that it has been trying hard in terms of the bull argument here. We've had a great breakout yesterday and through the $15 zone. If you halve yesterday's range, which was around basically 15 to 25, then looking for the shares to stay above 20 ahead of a move to 30, which is a September resistance line projection. Obviously, the shares have come up a long way, but it does look like a solid re-rate is in progress. Finishing off with WeShop, which obviously is new to the market here. A bit of a guess here in terms of what the trajectory is, but the best at the moment looks to be a rising trend channel like that. Might be a little bit lower, maybe towards the $100 level, but at least while we're above $100, looking for as much as $260 by the end of next month. If you're cautious, you wait for an end-of-day close through what looks like recent slightly difficult resistance around $155. But the RSI at 63, so not overbought, so there is a bit of a gas in the tank for potential further moves to the upside. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.